Lewis, you have Mayor Adrian Perkins speaking to the Caddo Republicans tomorrow. First off, tell us where the meeting is.
Who called who?
Who gets to show up, and then we'll get to how the heck this happened.
Well, it's at Superior Grill on Line Avenue. It's at 12 noon. And, the public has always been invited to attend. And that's what we plan to do tomorrow is hear from the mayor's report at 12 noon.
Okay, how did getting the mayor to speak, how did that happen?
I reached out to the mayor's office. In fact, I had been reaching out to them for several months. And until about 45 days ago, I hadn't never received any sort of response or declination of the invitation. But they reached back out and said, yep, the mayor would like to attend.
Did they explain why? Why do you think it's happening now? Why do you think?
I don't know. I mean, there's certainly a lot of speculation as to why that is, but we can tell you what we believe as Republicans. Democrats can tell you what they believe as Democrats. But at the end of the day, the question for most reporters is, what are you going to do? What are the results from you being in elected office? How do you make the lives of others better? How are you empowering others? How are you setting an example for our children of how to work together? So I know there are a lot of folks that say, oh, gosh, you're inviting a Democrat to your luncheon. Well, he is the mayor of our Shreveport. A rising tide lifts all ships. And I believe that for most reporters, what really matters are the results. And that's what we're really focused on.
Is it going to be a hostile room, Lewis? I mean, are there going to be folks that are going to get a chance to question him and grill him about things he has or has not done?
We certainly customarily will have a question and answer session with our guest speaker. And so I don't have any indication from the mayor's office that he has any reluctance whatsoever to answer questions from the public. Now, there are a lot of folks that are going to be in that room that the mayor referred to as oppressors because of where they live inside the city of Shreveport. But I think that most folks, and certainly we intend to be as civil and courteous as possible. We can disagree without being disagreeable. And I think that's kind of what the spirit of most folks that will be in that room tomorrow.
Have your conversations, let's call them discussions, correspondence with the mayor? Has it been just email? Have you spoken on the phone or otherwise? Has he given an inclination as to what the topic of his talk might be?
Well, actually, I have not corresponded nor communicated with the mayor directly, but through a representative of his. And, they asked, well, what would you like the mayor to focus on? And my response was, well, what is the state of the city as he sees it? And let's just cover as many different topics as possible. And he was agreeable with that idea, and that's what we expect to hear tomorrow.
Okay, you're going to hear this, so I'm just preparing you. We now have a surplus larger than we've ever had, and we're in great shape. Are people going to buy that? I mean, I know you don't buy it, but how do you respond when you hear that from the mayor?
Well, I think folks can critically analyze that. And look, an elected official telling voters that everything is wonderful is certainly not new. We actually invited Mayor Ollie Tyler during her administration to give a State of the City address. And much like what folks may expect tomorrow, as far as this outlook that everything is rosy, Mayor Tyler did the same thing. And folks asked her questions, and she stayed after and took, took some of the questions that couldn't be asked during the meeting. And so I think we fully expect to hear that tomorrow. And to that extent, I think, again, the mayor will have to take those questions and, address them, hopefully, with the facts.
Mr. Lewis, you said a second ago earlier in our conversation, and I think you were speaking rhetorically, you said, people might say, why are you having a Democrat mayor come speak to the Republican Party of Caddo Parish? Speaking not necessarily so rhetorically, what kind of feedback and or blowback and or comments have you received from the people in your organization?
I haven't heard any blowback whatsoever from fellow Republicans, those that are involved in the local Republican Party. They are surprised, nonetheless, that the mayor accepted the invitation. But at the same time, we must learn how to be, how we can debate ideas without making it personal. And I think this is a step in that direction. We're going to disagree about issues, and I think that's okay. I've said often, this used to be a free country where we could debate and be on different sides of the issue, but not hate one another.